Bob Fuzz here. Yes, it's true. I am using StreamYard. I don't know if it's this way. If it's this way, I don't know what the deal is. I'm trying out StreamYard for the first time, so I figured, why not? Let's just do it live. I'm sitting here looking at playing it. Here it goes. There's my notification. God bless YouTube. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. It's so funny. Last night I was thinking to myself, man, I am like a mush mouth, and I looked a little confused. I just had a little jet lag and everything yesterday, so I'm getting better. I didn't have to wake up anytime soon this morning. I woke up at 6:45, and it wasn't that bad. I'm starting to catch up. There we go. Noah, my man. Ruth, what's going on? Steve, what's going on? Steve, Rachel, what's going on? Rachel. No, my super mod. I cannot see. Oh, there it goes. Now it just popped up. It's weird. So, Steve, I'm trying this for the first time. So it's good that you're here. My awesome partner channel, Steve's World. Go check him out. Can't type much, but listening. That's awesome, Steve. All good. Yeah, this is the first time I'm playing with this. So I think I tested it with Adam a long time ago, but we never. I never went live with it. So there's my super mod. Noah, hey Ruth, what's going on? Steve, Rachel, what's going on? Hope everyone's doing good. I'm still not a mod, but yeah, I'll get you. You could be a mod, Rachel. I told you could be a mod. Add moderator. There you go, Rachel. You are now a mod. So congrats. Thank you so much. Yeah, I didn't really. I posted in my little chat if anyone wanted to come on, and I know Steve's probably busy, so that's all cool. So if anyone wants to join me, just message me, whatever, on Twitter or here or whatever. In this, I don't even know how to use this that much. It'd be great to see Steve. But hey, Grace, Samantha, what's going on, everyone? Noah, the man, Rachel, Rob's biggest fan. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Hope it's good. So, Rachel, again, did you go live? I thought you went live, and then I clicked it. I'm not sure if you went live or not. So I'm trying to get one in there. Trying to get in there to see you. I think this looks clear too. I don't know. Streamlab has some benefits, some advantages, some disadvantages. So just watching Mouse Talk. I was watching More Sunshine, Please. Hey Loretta, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Well, it's great. He does. I got the notification this time. Everything looks good, buddy. There you go. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Yeah, Steve didn't get the notification. I did a little thing yesterday. I wanted to stream some stuff. Hey, Sherry, what's going on? There you are. I want to stream tomorrow. I know Dis and That's going live, so I did not want to. I'm excited to watch their stream. I want to hear about their adventures. I wanted to give a shout out to Patrick. He just posted a video. It was awesome. If you guys haven't seen, check out my partner channels. They're all in the description below. My sponsor, D&G Explorers. Those guys are awesome. Pete McDevitt in the house. What's going on, Pete? Pete, you want to come on? Let me know. Look at that. I love that. You look so dapper in that picture, Pete. That's awesome. Loretta's. I just got to get used to this. It's too funny. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on and stuff. And I know This and That's tomorrow. So, and I was telling you guys about this is what I have issues with. I'm like scatterbrained. So I think I get distracted a lot by yeah, Pete, I'll send it to you. See, now I got to try this. So let's see. Invite. And then there, it's a weird stream. Copy to clipboard. Then I'm going to go over to Twitter. I'm going to look for Pete McDevitt. Did I say it right? Pete McDevitt. Yeah. For some reason, I didn't think I said it right, but that's the way you say it. I guess that's the way you said it. So hold on a sec. Pete Mc. There you are. The Mickey, the purple Mickey. Well, I never really got a close. Oh, it's Mickey Mouse with a. He's cooking. That's interesting. And I guess that's a Ravens logo. That's cool. Pete is here. I'm going to invite Pete here. All right. So, Pete, I sent you on Twitter. I sent you the link. So, it's cool. I just signed up for StreamYard too. Yeah, I haven't signed up for it. I'm doing the freebie thing. I don't know. I was hoping, that Google Hangouts was going to, go away. And then I thought they would pop something else up, but nope. Thank you so much, Rachel. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I appreciate it. What's up, Bob and Ashley? Bob's in the house. Yeah. D&G Explorers here. My burp sponsor. There's Pete. All right, cool, Pete. Let me try this out here. Okay, so boom. So I have to add him to the stream. There's Pete. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's
where are you? I guess you're home.
Yeah, I'm in the office. In the office. Right. I was actually Dev had went Prince Charming Dev had went live and from his home because they got the hurricane all going down there, and he sent me a text saying, "Hey, can you come on?" Because he was worried about some problems with trolls. So I was down watching him for a bit, and then I saw you went live. I was like, "I'm gonna go check out what Rob's doing."
Cool. Very good. Is he still live now? I didn't even see.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of his regular mods in now with him. So I told him I was jumping off. So,
I didn't get a notification for this.
He did a home stream just because he's going to get back into doing streams on Tuesday night. And hey, Steve, see, buddy, he's going to get back into doing streams on.
There it is. I didn't see he was live. Okay.
So that's he's just trying to get back in the flow. He had gotten out of that doing all those character warehouse craziness things. Peep TV.
Pepper Tree Fellow, what's going on?
When's Bon Jovi coming in? I'm here.
When are they coming on my? He's coming on my stream.
Live. I'm expecting next 5 minutes. He'll be on.
All right, so let's play with this thing. So, okay, so we got the double thing there. We got that. That's kind of cool. No one ever seems to use this. I don't know. I kind of like that. So
if I can figure it out, you can figure it out.
Look at the 3 thing there.
Steve was phenomenal. Steve and Kelly. Kelly helped me get on the other night and figure out my setup. And then after I got in, Steve was telling me all kind of stuff with it. But it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I just haven't had a chance to do anything. So,
I was putting people, making Steve mad. Basically, I kept putting Colts things over Steve's.
So that's what you're. I never knew. I don't know if you heard me or not. I was looking at your Twitter logo, and I didn't realize that is that Mickey Mouse cooking burgers. That's like me watching
Yeah, it's Mickey Mouse tailgating at a Ravens game.
At a Ravens. Yeah. And then I like your logo on. I don't know what was that. Where you're like New York City's in the background or something.
Oh, okay. So last year at my national sales conference, which is coming up next week in Florida, my company's a global company, and we have about 500 people that come in for our meeting. Mm-hmm. And I am the MC for the whole week. I kick off the opening night, and then Friday night I do a whole awards banquet, which is kind of like the Oscar night. And we actually took that logo. That was actually the Tonight Show logo with Fallon. And we, one of my guys at the office is really good.
Didn't say that.
He's really good with stuff, so we hijacked it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's my thing there. So, but just trying to get in the flow and get ready for our Thursday night show with the NFL Watch Show, and I was actually working on that when I saw you came on.
Well, I got to check. Pete wants me to do his league for maybe next year. Pete, we'll see. Maybe I'll follow. Maybe I could I don't know. Follow someone's league or I don't know. I'm just
we got This and That has a simple league on DraftKings, which is it's a couple bucks each week, and it's all of us. That's like it's all the This and That guys. It's Pally, Myers and the Mouse, Dole Whip Dad, and it's just a bunch of us picking fantasy players and going against each other for a couple bucks. Basically, it's bragging rights. It's the Beverly Challenge belt without a belt. So it's bragging rights. So Zip has already told everybody he's going to win. Just give me your money.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it's good stuff. So Spain, it looked amazing. Everything I saw from you that you put out.
Which we'll get into that in a second. I wanted to finish my thought because I'm the king of not finishing my thought. So I wanted to thank. I just saw Zippity Doodad's video with Mike Wheeler, so that was awesome. Mike seems like such a great guy, and I didn't even know they were that close with him and everything. And he came down and they got to meet him and everything. So I just finished watching that video.
I don't know if they were that close, or they've more or less kind of become very respectful of Mike because he's extremely supportive of their channels.
Yeah.
And for the guy is I've never seen somebody so committed to helping other people. And it's a great thing. Hey, Downscale.
Downscale.
Yeah, Downscale's in there. So they went to meet him, and you guys saw the video. The cool thing was, in this, what all we're doing, it's real easy to lose sight of the fact that at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of people having our own little channels, and other people are kind enough to follow some support financially or whatever. Yeah. And what I saw that was the most impressive thing was I saw the four This and That guys rearranging their schedule down there in Disney to the point where some of them had plans that they actually adjusted. You know, Dave got up early and went over to Galaxy's Edge and went into the bar at like 7 a.m. or something crazy, just so that they could go and meet Mike Wheeler. And that says a lot for the character of those four guys, because it would have been real easy to say, it's just a guy that follows on a thing. Let's go do our thing.
Seems like he drove like 6 hours. Is that what it was, Steve?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They went out of their way to do it. And I earned a lot of respect for those guys that day because they didn't do it. I felt bad because, Mike had sent me a private message asking me if I could meet up. But Preston had been there all week and had already given up a bunch of stuff for all the adults.
There he is. We're talking about him here. Hey, Mike, what's going on, man? I'm so jealous I didn't get to meet you, Mike.
Yeah. So,
that was a great video.
I couldn't meet Mike. I was disappointed in myself, but he was very understanding of the fact that, I had my 12-year-old son with me, and I kind of had to get him on some rides because we were in Disney, and we were running out of time. So,
we're going to get the spade, but Pete, man, I got to tell you, I knew you were going to do great at doing the Beverly Challenge announcing, but man, you were incredible. I like the mic, the This and That mic. You pulled the guys aside, and everything. I loved your commentary. It was very good. It was awesome. And it's sad because it was 4 days ago, 5 days ago. I'm finally what was it, the 31st?
Yeah,
I'm finally catching up on everything. I was watching this morning. I was watching Resort TV One go to Galaxy's Edge for the first time at Disney World. I was loving that. Like, it's all new to me. Like, I didn't get to watch any of this stuff, and then I saw the Beverly Challenge live. Thank you again, Pete. Thank you. Pete gave me a cell, and I got the call in, and I kind of got that wish everyone good luck and everyone. I got to talk to everyone. So that was kind of cool. So I've really felt like I was there too. So thanks, Pete. I appreciate it.
And the cool thing about that was when Preston had the phone when it did, and I didn't have your phone saved in there at the time. And he's like, Dad, it's somebody with a number we don't know. And I said,
no.
But it clicked that you had told me. I said, I wonder if it's Rob. And, boom, I hit it and it was you. But the reaction to everybody.
Maybe we should have worked that a little better. So
yeah, we should have done a better job. I got you saved in there now for future stuff.
All right, cool.
The reaction of everybody was great too when they saw it was you. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, let me talk to him." So that was great.
Thank you so much. So I'm trying to figure this out. Is this a super chat?
Yes, it's a super chat.
Thank you so much, Downscale.
Rob says, go ahead. You got it.
Good.
Rob is the most buttery smooth DJ voice. I want the 100 characters I didn't use back. So here's I was the one who go with Dad one day, and I said this. Somebody brought up Rob Fuzz and how smooth you are. And I said, look, I admire Rob because I was in broadcasting for college. I love the way he comes across and his deployment of his verbiage. I said, but his voice is smooth. It's like Casey Kasem and Harry Connick Jr. had a baby. And there it is. Boom. Smooth. Yeah.
It's too funny.
It's good stuff.
There we go. See, and Meg's here. Meg is home.
Meg.
I feel bad, Meg, because I want to say like to Meg, I want to say like, I'm glad you're home, welcome home, and everything. But I know Meg's real home is in Disney World, or a Disney park. So I kind of don't want to say that to you, Meg. So, but I'm glad you're home. Pete, you left early to get home.
We left a day early. Steve, it's Steve's fault. I blame Steve. He came over and got me all nervous about getting home, and with my job with the military, I knew I had to be on base today. And Steve's like, "Oh, we're out of here. We're going." They're canceling flights, and so between him and Shep and Dave, I was like, "All right."
But come on, in a million years, did you think that hurricane was going to stall there for a full day? I don't think anyone predicted that. You know what I mean? So
I had to play the odds, and I played.
That was you always do, Pete.
Blame Shep. He made me do it.
I don't care what anyone says. Like, looking back on it now, maybe But even I saw that even Josh was saying like they're starting to get the bad weather now and everything. So, but you don't know. You don't. That was the right choice. Leaving early was definitely the right choice. 100%. That was the right thing.
So my only regrets for the week for me were one, in all the confusion and everything. Preston and I didn't get on Big Thunder. I was a little disappointed in that because we missed that. And I that one I do hold on Steve. So Steve knows why. We'll keep that off the chat. But the only other thing was not meeting Meg. I had a list of people I really wanted to meet down there, and we didn't get to pull that off with Meg. So unfortunately, it didn't work out. Preston was really disappointed in that himself because he wanted to meet Miss Meg. But I promised him Meg goes down enough that we can work it out for another time. There's Donna.
Hey, Donna. Hope you're doing good. Hope you guys are safe down there. You guys are all, I'm not a very religious man, but you guys are always in my prayers and everything. The mighty R. Johns. What's up, brother? How you doing, buddy?
Richard. Richard and I they lost Richard and I for about an hour during the party. So
what happened? See, now you got to Pete. This is why I'm glad you came on. You got to catch me up. I missed everything. So, and then we'll get to
so everybody was at the Halloween party on Tuesday night. Everybody, pretty much. Okay. And we went as we were trying to do stuff as a group, and Dev was live streaming, and he did the live stream for Preston. Dev hasn't live streamed Parks in God knows how long, and he promised Preston he would do it, so he went live for him to do the party. We were all together, and we were moving around with a group of us, and we headed over towards it's very windy and rainy there. We headed over to Space Mountain, and somehow or another they ended up branching off, and it was a group of them, and they didn't do Space Mountain. It was like Steve and Shep and a bunch of them. Well, R. Johns and I didn't see them. We sat in the gift shop of Space Mountain waiting for them to come out. And Richard's like, we had to have missed them. We had to have missed them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, we didn't miss them. They're right here. So we stayed there for like an hour. Finally, I text Nick from Magical News Live. I'm like, dude, where are you guys? And they're like, oh, we're all on Splash Mountain. So R. Johns and I were lost for about an hour. So, but that's happens, One intentional. It was so many people. I mean, it was like our group was like 20 plus strong, 25, 27.
I'm so jealous.
It was, hard to keep track of everybody.
Hey, Stacy, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just so jealous. It was finally like a reunion of everyone. So one of these days I'll get down there.
The thing was having people come up because you didn't know everybody's face. Like Marshmallow Man, Corey's brother, came up, and
I have no clue what he looks like. So
and I mean, he stayed off the streams, and I've talked to him umpteen times on with Twitter and stuff like that, back and forth, and he comes up and he's like, "Hey, Pete, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Good." And then it was that awkward pause where you're not sure if somebody's going to punch you in the face or kiss you. Kind of really hoping, that he's going to give me a hug, and he's like, "I'm the Marshmallow Man." And I was like, "Oh," and it was all love, But yeah, it was pretty cool, Rob. It was. Yeah, you were missed. It was mentioned a couple times through the week as we were together that hey, Rob's not here, but there was a couple people that said, hey, the heck with Rob. He's on a boat in the Caribbean somewhere with Bon Jovi.
You can't feel bad for me. Yeah, I knew about that cruise. I don't know, like literally 2 years ago. That's how long ago or maybe a year and a half ago, and I kind of knew about it. I always know about stuff way before we announce it and everything, and then. They hit 2, and the April one was huge, and then Bon Jovi toured Europe and everything. And this one was the little trip that could. It didn't sell as much initially, but as it went and everything, and it was just as crowded as the first one. So they were both 2 very successful cruises, and they were great. It was a blast. I can't complain. And I'd never been to Barcelona. I'd never been to Spain, and I went to Barcelona, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun, and it just everything landed. It was just like the day of the Beverly Challenge was my boss's birthday. So we went out to eat, and then I literally was walking back to the hotel. That's what I called you. I was just like sitting in the lobby watching the stream because the connections, it just was, the connection on the boat was horrible. So D23 didn't seem like it was, I didn't miss that much, right? It didn't seem like that much I missed. But I would have to do like I would have to look at Twitter and see all the updates on Twitter, and I kind of did it because Twitter just seems it's like the lowest amount of bandwidth on the cruise and everything. That's how I kind of kept up with everything. It was like so like caveman like because I didn't have great reception and everything, but it was good that I finally got. Yeah, I finally got to see the Beverly Challenge. Well, sorry, Pete.
We made $10,000. So to me, I'll let Disney Dan hit me in the face with Beverly every day of the week for us hitting, making 10 grand.
That is awesome.
So that's a lot of fun stuff. The interviews were great. I mean, some of the interviews, I rewatched them, and I knew what they were going to say or what was going to happen. I still laughed. That was great.
Thank you so much, Kay. Kay is awesome.
Very nice. Kay's great.
Donna is awesome. Thank you guys for everything.
Donna's elite.
As Meg says, Donna is awesome. She is. She
She is
is.
phenomenal. I'm going back down in next weekend, and I'm hoping to catch.
Ready? That's awesome.
I'm hoping to catch Donna and Arjons to catch. I think we're doing. I know Donna's listening. We're doing Phantasmic on Saturday night. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 14th.
So what state do you live in, Pete? I'm sorry, I don't know.
I live in Maryland.
Okay, so
I live in Maryland, not far from you. I go up the Pike a lot to Fort Dix a lot.
Okay.
I'm up that way quite a bit, but we have our national conference. My office is in West Palm Beach, and we've got our national conference in Lauderdale this year. So after the conference, I'm driving up for Saturday and Sunday to the parks. So that'll. Steve's
breaking announcement. I'm going again in December. That's awesome, Steve. Hopefully you get to go see Rise of the Resistance. It's all right. Sorry for the gaps. What do you got, Steve? Cool. That ride looks incredible. I'm not going to go until I get to go on that ride. To be honest with you, so I don't know when I'm going to get to go.
I'll tell you what was crazy, Rob, was that we went there. You saw, I'm sure one of the guys stream of the opening day, and we went there and stood in line, did the whole thing, and I wouldn't give that up again for the world. It was awesome.
It was so much fun.
The Dissonant crew and Corey and Dev and Mouse Talk was there. I got a good Walt story for you too that I'll tell in a minute. But it was unbelievable, and the crowd was ridiculous, and the wait was 5+ hours for Millennium Falcon at one point. And then the next day, I get up and go over there, and we literally walked into the canteen with like an 8-minute wait. It was ridiculous. So it was like
How was it after that though? Because it's been open a couple of days. Has it been
same deal?
It's such a weird week to compare it because of the hurricane. So I don't know.
Yeah, hurricane and school and a lot of other crazy stuff. But my Walt story is you'll love. So Mouth Talk. This is great. See, to me, it's the best story. One of the best stories of the week. Okay. I was standing there next to Walt, and so it's the group of us, and we're literally like 10 feet from the gates to get into Hollywood. And this is about 4:15 a.m. Getting ready to open the gates. So standing to my left is Josh from Resort TV One, and then the Dissonant guys, and Dev is with me, but he's kind of up in front of the group. And Walt turns to me real quiet, just in that Mouse Talk, peaceful voice, and goes, "Pete, listen, it's going to get crazy in here. I know you guys are all trying to stay together. If things happen and we get lost, don't worry about me. I'm going to do my own thing." And I'm like, okay, cool. So I literally turn and talk to Shep for a minute. I'm talking 30 seconds. I turn back to Walt to say something to him. He's gone. Completely gone. Like vanished, gone. I didn't see him again the rest of the day.
Wow, really?
He was gone.
4:30 in the morning?
Yeah, he was just gone. And then Steve told me, he's like, we're standing in line, and Steve's like, you can believe this. Walt went through single rider. He's already rid the Falcon. He's going to do other things.
Oh, that's
we were still in line. So, but it was great. I love Walt. It's hysterical. So,
I was watching the stream before. It was good.
And then, Steve and Corey Steve got ahead of us a little bit. Corey's trying to catch up with the group. One of the cast members is trying not to let him up, and that got a little crazy because it was a little bit of pushing.
It went a little quick. Oh, like going into Galaxy's Edge. Okay.
So going into the Falcon. Steve and Dev and have got Preston, and they're like 5-10 yards ahead of us because the crowd, they kind of narrowed everybody into the queue for where the standby line was, and it really went from like 7 people wide to like 1. So it was a lot of jockey jostling, and we kind of got caught behind everybody. We were trying to stay together, and then one of these cast members tried to stop us from moving up, and Corey was so tired he started giving it back to the cast member a little bit. Which those guys were exhausted. I mean, they had been up. I still think I got more sleep in one night than Steve got the whole entire week. So they were just, I don't know, their motors were just going. So
once chat check here, as Jim would say. So I'm liking StreamYard so far, Bob. And unfortunately, I think we can only have 5 people at once, but I want to really run it through the test with a bunch more people. Done with dinner. Welcome back, Pepper Tree Villa. And Corey was not happy. Steve, you did not look happy either. I'm just trying to figure, Steve, what did you guys do the night before that you were so exhausted? What was the night before? What was the 30th? Just standing in line and waiting around? Is that why they were so tired, or?
Let's see. We went to a bar Tuesday night. We closed the ale house.
Okay.
And then Wednesday we were over at Epcot. I don't know where Steve and them were because, Steve and them were with us at Epcot. We went to the tequila bar, and then those guys went to dinner at Le Cellier. A couple of them, Steve and Shep, and then Dave and I stayed with Dev and a couple people and closed that tequila bar.
Okay. Yeah, why not? Like, you got a big night ahead of you. You're going to Disney Studios like 3 a.m. to line up and everything. Go drinking the night before. Why not? So.
The worst thing for me was Preston kept texting his mother pictures of him and the group, and I'm closing this bar, I'm closing that bar. At 12, So he went to school today. I was just texting Dave, or Dave and I were talking on Deb's thing back and forth. So Preston went to school today and told his teacher, she said, "What was your favorite thing of the summer?" And he said, "I went with the This and That crew and closed 4 bars in Disneyland." And I'm like, my wife came home and was like, that was what he told his teacher. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
That is awesome. My kids start school tomorrow. What did your son start?
Started today was the first day.
Okay. Very cool.
Today.
Yeah, they'd start tomorrow. So very cool. I'm checking out Prince Charming. Dev, what are we at now? I'm trying to see. Dorian is a male or female name?
It's a male.
Okay. See, I thought it was a woman's names.
No, I believe it's a male.
I was not sure. It really kicked the. They're showing footage in Marineland, Florida.
Okay.
And it's near. It's heading up towards kind of Daytona Beach now. So 13. I'm watching I keep saying the Travel Channel. I'm watching the Weather Channel. So I keep it on all day. I know it's crazy, but 13 million under tropical alerts now. So I don't know. It looks like it seems like it's getting worse. Who the hell knows? I don't know.
Josh put up a post earlier that it was turning towards the coast of Florida. I haven't been on TV in a while here. I was working on my presentation for next week and just kind of listening to YouTube channels in the background as we did it. So, I mean, it sounds like Georgia was the one going to get pummeled.
That's what it seems like, yeah. I don't know.
He ain't gonna hit us, cuz we got to worry about blizzards coming. You and I have to worry about
blizzards. Come on, September 3rd.
Bad winter is what they say.
That's what they're saying.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. So I hope not. I tend to prefer not. You get a little worse than me, usually up there in the corridor.
Definitely. But here's the Mike Wheeler update. Oh no, that's not it. See, this is the only issue I have. I go to click one person and it goes up. So right now the hurricane is a category 2 with 110 mile an hour winds traveling 6 miles an hour north. Well, 6 miles an hour is not very fast, but it's better than 1 mile an hour. So I just want this thing to go away.
I feel like it's been here forever.
It does. It really does. It really does. And there's like 3 or 4 storms since. So hey Ross, what's going on?
I started getting texts from my mother last week when I was in Disney. The hurricane's coming, get out. I'm like, it's still down in the Caribbean somewhere.
Yeah.
But the hard thing is getting used to where you're manipulating everything on that screen, with the trying to bring the stuff up and all that. Have you did the pop-out chat yet?
No. So how do I do that?
Okay. So, all right, I got to remember this from what I'm thinking. If you have your chat on in the stream, okay, on Streamlabs or Stream whatever we are, Duck Labs here. Okay, we're on Duck Labs. So you go up there, like it's where your chat is, and there's like 3 buttons, and you can hit it and tell it to pop out. It's hard for me to tell you without doing it here. Live comment. Let me put that on. And let me make this screen smaller here. Okay. Not working.
What's the benefit of popping out the chat, though?
So what I did on mine the other night, and Kelly showed me how to do it when I popped it out, I minimized my screen in half, so I was still able to see Duck Labs here and everything we were talking. And then the chat, I was able to, it was easier to read. It gave me just the box just for chat on the right-hand side. So I had 2 windows open. I had the Duck Labs, and then I had the chat. And it just made it easier.
I'm not popping out YouTube chat, though.
You're popping out Duck Lab chat.
You don't see that. Maybe go to scroll up. No.
Let me see. Where is it here?
Stop cam, settings, share screen, invite, leave studio. We are the D in Florida. Oh, geez. Bob just sent me a text. He showed me where it is. Hang in there, Bob. Hope you guys are all right. Hope you don't lose power.
Again, I'm a novice when it comes to all this. I did my first one the other day. I'm going to start streaming, doing it on my channel. One of the goals that I was trying to get to 100 subscribers, which I finally did, was so that I could do the show that I'm doing with Dole Whip Dad and Myers and the Mouse on Thursday nights on my channel every once in a while. So finally got there, so I'll be able to do that. And that's
so check out Pete's channel.
Yeah, my channel's just my name. It's pretty simple. I kept life simple.
I will put it in the chat here. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, it was fun. I really like Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls. I got to see him do acoustic set. He was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
And you know, my job, I think you know what I was to take pretty much 1,200 people's picture with John. So I literally just finished it. Everyone out there who's on the trip, I just finished it. So I'll be sending it over in the morning, and hopefully the next day or two it'll be live. So it's like Christmas morning whenever they put the photos up. So it's kind of cool. And in my stream last night, I don't know if you saw, one of the girls on the trip came up to me and said, you know, thank you so much for taking the most important picture of my life. So I was like, wow. That's kind of deep that she said that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Josh from Practically Perfect Park Hopping's here. So Rob, you talk about things you don't expect. This is a guy that, you know, I didn't really know a ton about his channel before we went down there, and he hung out with us all week. Dave introduced him to me, and his name's Josh. He's a former veteran, which I have a lot of passion for with my job. But just a great guy to hang out with. We had a great week.
Cool. I got to check out his channel.
You know, yeah, he's a good man. Good man. So it's I'm glad he's in here.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get. You can post your. Are you a mod on my channel, Pete? I think you are, right?
I don't know if I am or not. Let me see.
You can post your link. I will.
I am not a mod in your channel. Right?
That has to be fixed, Pete. Can you say something in there so I can make you a mod? So I'm sorry.
I put hello.
I apologize. I have 2 new mods tonight. So.
All right.
There we go. All right, Pete. I'll get you in there, Pete. I like your dapper picture there from the Tonight Show. So.
Yeah, it's I'm figuring out. I'm working on for this year. I think I'm working on Thor. I was working on doing one of the Marvel characters is what I think I'm going to do as my character meme for down there for my meeting this year.
Okay, that's awesome.
We will see.
So did you subscribe to Disney Plus? Changing topics here.
No, that's the thing. I tried to get a hold of Corey before I left there, and get him to do it for me, but I couldn't get it done. So I'm going to wait till they do it. I am going to do it because there's so much content coming out that it's ridiculous. You know, it's like you almost have to. Cool. You know, it's just, I mean, just the Marvel stuff alone, not before you get into even all the other items they're going to put out there. There's Stacy. Thank you. She's the best.
Here we go. I got Preston too. I didn't subscribe to his channel yet, but I am now. So
Megan, I'm not D23 yet, but we're going to do that. I had to get my daughter off to college and write those checks first. So
well, I subscribed yesterday. Well, unfortunately, yesterday was the last day to do it, but there was a discount. It was like it was like 8 cents a day or something. But it came out. It was like $140 for 3 years. You're a charter member. I was a D23 member. I did not renew my membership yet, but I am a free member, and that was allowed to. So I got to rejoin. I got to rejoin D23 one of these days. So I loved it though. Let me see. Meg asked a cool question, and that's probably, believe it or not, I'm trying to find your question. Meg was asking me who the coolest musician I met was. You know, of course I got to say John Bon Jovi because I work for him, but you know, I've known him forever. So, and it's just, you know, it's like kind of his family's kind of like my family. So
he's a really good guy. I've met him twice. Yeah.
So cool. Where'd you meet him?
My uncle owns Upfront Productions down here in Baltimore.
Okay.
And does concert promoting. And over the years of my life, which I turned 50 recently, so it's been a lot of years, we've seen Bon Jovi a couple times that my uncle was promoting them.
Oh, cool.
Down here. And we got to do the meet and greets and meet them. I put them up there with, for me, they were up there with, as far as like rock goes, Motley Crue was awesome to meet. And Bon Jovi was just as cool. And both of them were unbelievably respectful, and so I met them both as a kid, and that was awesome. Hey, Jimmy.
Pete looks like you're in a spaceship, Meg said. That's funny.
I look like I'm in a spaceship.
That's what she said, yeah.
It's the gaming chair that I went and bought. This thing is comfortable as all get out.
I love it.
And does
cool.
a good job.
So yeah, I would say John. Another cool guy I met Don Henley. He was really super cool.
Awesome.
Very cool. And I got to meet for just my work, the Goo Goo Dolls, Florida Georgia Line, Journey.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to think. Joe Walsh was amazing too. It's just I got to meet. I'm trying to think who else. I just met a bunch of people, and they're all cool. They're all really cool to me and everything. And it just I worked for NBC for a while, and you know who Henry Rollins is?
I do not.
He's in the band Black Flag. It's more of a heavier thing. He's in the Henry Rollins band. He's a singer, very heavy singer. And he is what's it called? He's an actor too. He was in a couple movies, and he went when I was in college. He went around and he did this thing. It was like a spoken word thing. It was kind of cool. And that's when I worked for I was CNBC, NBC, and it was America's Talking. It was an all talk show network I worked for, and now it's MSNBC. It kind of went away. Now it's MSNBC, and he was on, and I was photographing all these cool celebrities, all these musicians, and everything. And he was just kind of say, "Hey, Henry, can I take a picture of you?" And he literally was looking down. He went like this and looked down. That was the only opportunity he gave me to take a picture, right? So I'm like, what a jerk this guy is, Like I'm like, thanks, man. He wouldn't even let me. He wouldn't let me take his picture, And then I kind of jumped the gun. So I did go to see his spoken word. He played my college and everything. So
okay.
And he was so good. He had amazing stories. He spoke for 3 hours. You were on the edge of your seat. What amazing stories this guy had and everything. If you see him, you probably recognize him. He's in a couple of movies and stuff. But I learned my lesson that day. He said he said something along the lines is, people meet me for like 30 seconds and they judge me for the rest of my life. Like the way he said it was like, and that was the same thing with any celebrity. Like a lot of people I get to meet. There's been not so great experiences with some celebrities I've met, but he kind of taught me the lesson though. Like, you can't really judge a celebrity, and within those, like you meet them for like seconds, you can't really judge how they are and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I judged you. I judged you. I should have yelled out to him. I judged you because you did the same thing to me. So after that day, I learned my lesson that it was things. So
I think the best one I ever met was Brad Paisley. I saw him like 7 times in a row. Okay, because Hershey was one of my clients at the time, and they were doing that beach party thing with Brad Paisley that they were promoting. So they were going through all the local places down through Virginia, DC, up all the way up to New Jersey, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. And nobody in our company was taking the tickets. So they kept calling me saying, hey, you want to go? And I went to like every show, and I was going backstage every time and doing the meet and greet. So like after we started in Virginia, by the time we got up, it was actually in Jersey. He looked right at me and he says, are you stalking me? And I'm like, no, I had to explain what the deal was because I had been to like 5 in a row. And the great thing was in Jersey, when he kind of looked up and looked over at me, and I felt that weird, he's not comfortable with me being here thing. I looked right at him when I went to walk up there. I said, he goes, how'd you like the show? I said, well, I'm really not happy that you changed the song, thing for this, and this. And you took out this song and you added in this song. And that's when he said, are you stalking me? Because I knew the set by my, thing, but he was fun to see. I enjoyed Brad Paisley. My all-time favorite, though, I have to say this, out of all the concerts I've been to in all my life, Garth Brooks. I've seen him 3 times live, and unbelievable. So
I always wanted to see him. I'm not a huge country guy and everything, but he's kind of a little bit of a crossover. So
he's got a little crossover. He was the first country artist I ever liked. So okay. Friends in Low Places. I'll never forget. I was working at Safeway in the seafood department as a local peon while I was in college, and Friends in Low Places came on the radio. Casey Kasem was back doing his countdown back then. And Casey Kasem said, here's a newcomer coming out today. His name's Garth Brooks from Texas. And awesome. Threw it out, and I was like, yeah, that song's pretty good. That's how diverted me to country music.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. They still have him do top 10 lists, like from.
I was even dead. He's like
I don't know.
frozen or something because it's
At least 15 years. But yeah, they still have the radio show. I guess they just they replay it, obviously. But it's kind of creepy that he.
They were. I mean, as a kid, there was nothing better than this. This request goes out to so and so from a lost.
Oh my God, I love Casey Kasem. He was awesome. I would listen religiously to him, and back in the days, like I would just like I would have the radio and I had the little tape deck, and I would record like so bad, like such bad quality. I would record with my little tape deck on the radio and everything. There's no way to tape that stuff.
Yeah. Howard Stern has somewhere he got from somebody. It's an outtake of Casey Kasem when he wasn't having so good of a day. And he starts trying to do all his stuff, and it's not sounding right, and his mic's not working, and there was technical problems, and he just starts going off and cussing.
I heard that.
Oh God, that to me.
I've heard that.
Doubled over listening to that.
Yeah. That's a great thing, yeah. Because it's him too, and who else did they have too? Did you say like it's Ponderous, man? Ponderous, is that the one when he does it? Yeah, that's a great.
And then he starts dropping the F-bomb. It's like it's Casey Kasem dropping the F-bomb.
He had someone else too. I think he had who's the guy who did Orson Welles? He had something with Orson Welles.
I haven't heard that one.
He had the outtake with Orson Welles. That was really cool too. There we go. A lot of great stuff here. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm trying to figure this out. So tickets late to Garth Brooks and Horrible Seats right before the start. Trisha Yearwood's parents came up to us and said we had the worst seats and brought us down to the third row. That's awesome.
Wow.
Cool story, Bob.
That's awesome.
Cool. Oh, we did that too. A lot of times with Bon Jovi, we had some good seats, and we would literally, if we had any extras, we would go up to the rafters and we would hook up some people that are up in the upper deck. So that was pretty nice. So
it's amazing how his music is kind of timeless. I mean, a lot of Bon Jovi's original stuff I still love.
Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Pete?
I said his music kind of timeless in a way. A lot of Bon Jovi's original stuff I still love.
Yeah, he's got some great songs. I love the band, and I actually love like the non-hits and everything on the album. Like the hits are great, but I like the non-hits. Stacy asked us before. I think we kind of answered that, Stacy. I don't know about I haven't met. Yeah, it was. I'd love to meet. I saw Russ said Paul McCartney. I'd love to meet Paul McCartney.
Oh, that's
some of the Beatles. I'd love to meet Elvis. I'd love to meet probably Frank Sinatra. Like those, those.
I'm a huge Elvis and Sinatra fan.
Yeah, cool. So there's you. I guess you would agree with me then. So
absolutely, I would agree with you. Some of that stuff's great.
I did finally get to go. Have you been to Graceland? I think I'm guessing.
So we were going to drive by it when I was taking my daughter to college, and we didn't get a chance to. It's on my bucket list of to-dos. Here's an odd story. So being in around the music business and all, how everything works. Mm-hmm. Elvis was due to play in Baltimore 2 weeks after he died. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was like around the 30th. And my uncle was a promoter for that too. And my mother got a call from my uncle. I'll never forget where we were. We were in the living room of my parents' first house, and the phone rang. It was the old, circle dial phones. The phone rings, and it was my uncle. And 3 hours before it was announced publicly, my mother knew that Elvis had passed away because my uncle had got the call and they said, "Hey, stop selling tickets."
Oh wow!
Why? It was, they were trying to get ahead of everything. So
I didn't even realize he was still playing when he died.
Yeah, he was still doing shows and everything. He was scheduled to be here in Baltimore. Just a year or two before, my mother and my grandmother both met him down at the Baltimore Civic Center. One of his shows beforehand, where my uncle had it, and he took them back, and they got to meet Elvis. So they took a picture with a Polaroid camera, which is what it was back then. And those pictures got water or something on them as a kid, and they're gone, which is a shame. But cool stuff. Elvis Presley.
Oh man, but they don't have the picture anymore.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Stinks. Yeah, I went to Graceland. We actually did Joe Walsh at Graceland, so it was really cool.
Really?
And we know my friend knows the guy who kind of invested in it and made it. It's kind of funny that Graceland kind of you're gonna laugh. Kind of reminded me of Universal Studios, the way they kind of put it together, like the kind of look of Universal Studios. Just had the look there. It was very bizarre. So
really,
so Graceland still exists. To the left of it, there's a brand new hotel, the Graceland Guest House, which is amazing. And then across the street, you can't actually just drive up to Graceland and go in and everything. You have to go across the street. They built this huge complex. That's what reminds me of Universal Studios, just the way it's the structure is and everything. And it's really cool. I definitely recommend it and everything. It's just kind of in the middle of nowhere in Memphis there and everything. But it was just so great. It was so great to see and everything. And just, obviously, I don't know if you know, like, he died upstairs in his house. And you can't, right. No one's been upstairs. Like, no one.
He may still be there.
Like, literally, yeah, he might be. But,
Zippy Doodad just came in and dances with Goose.
Hey, Zippy Doodad. What's up, buddy? I was just saying how amazing your video was with Mike Wheeler. That was really moving, Patrick. So you guys have put out some great videos. I got to catch up on. So Dave puts up now, and all the guys are putting videos out and everything. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, there's a lot of good editing going on. I've watched Dave's, Patrick's. There's a lot of good stuff coming out.
That's funny, Meg. Yeah, but I definitely highly recommend Graceland. It was just so cool. It's just such an honor and everything. It's so 70s or late 60s, so 70s. It's just a great experience. I definitely recommend.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't changed anything in the house since he passed away, from what I understand.
No, they haven't. Yeah.
So the jungle room is still the jungle room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But what they did was too, they did a lot. The old tour, like the racquetball court, they had all that stuff back there, and there was like a bunch of stuff within the tour and everything. And he is, another thing was interesting. They buried him in the cemetery, and they had so much issues and so much different things going on with people looting his grave and all that stuff. And I think he only lasted like a week, and they put his body in Graceland, so he is buried in the back of Graceland.
Him and Vernon and his mother Gladys,
right?
And I believe somebody else is there also.
I think his brother, maybe that brother who died.
The twin that died is still buried in Tupelo.
Oh, okay.
There's somebody else there that's there with him. I don't know if it's a distant relative or whatever, because there is. I'm almost positive there's 4 graves there. I was watching some YouTuber that does a lot of graveyard stuff, and they happened to show it, and I was watching.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff they had around there, and I think they had trailers and trailers of his stuff on the property, and it just was, misused, and it just was. They had so much memorabilia. They brought it over to the museum across the street. So it's a museum, it's a concert hall, huge gift shop. There's like they could do concerts and conventions there and everything. Someone just walked by.
Yeah, my daughter, she's coming in to say my 2 labs are in my office with me.
Very nice.
Yeah, my daughter came to tell the dogs good night.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, it's just very cool. I definitely highly recommend it. And so they're kind of restoring it back to what it was and moving all that stuff over, the gold records and all that stuff. So
I got to go see it because I heard all the jumpsuits are there and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool. But Elvis was great. I love Elvis. He did 2 shows. He did like a matinee show and a night show, and he was the king of promotions and everything. And Colonel, he had yep. And he would have like the scarves and everything, and he would wear the scarf, and then he would put on a girl, and then they put another scarf on him, and he'd go to the next girl. Come on, how could you not? He was a piece of work, so it was really cool.
Unbelievable. I actually have. I've never told anybody this. I will admit that I have somewhere in my jewelry. I could find it. I had made back in probably, let's see, I'm 50 now. It's probably back in my early 20s. I was such a huge Elvis fan. I had a solid gold TCB with the lightning made that I still have somewhere.
Oh, you gotta get that. You gotta find that. So
pull that out for a Rob Fuzz moment at some point.
I don't know if have you seen did you see any of did you see the Bon Jovi movie When We Were Beautiful?
No, I did not.
You definitely gotta check that out if you're like Bon Jovi. But they in the movie they explain I have one of the Bon Jovi necklaces, the slippery and wet necklaces. So only like the thing is, if you did 2 full tours or 5-year service with them, you get the necklace. So I do have, that's my TCB necklace. So I don't have it on now. 1992. That's when I met his mother. So
wow.
So I think 16 is going on 17 years now, I guess. So it's crazy. Yeah. And I used to do stuff with the fan club, and this is how far back I go. I did their first website ever. And I did their newsletters, and I used to do like video recording the concerts and the trips and all that stuff. And we put it out on VHS. You could buy it on VHS because there's no YouTube or anything.
Yeah.
at that point. So it was just fun, and I've still been with them, and I'm still working with them. I'm heading to Sao Paulo in 3 weeks in South America. So that's my next trip with them. So it should be fun. We did well. That was a cool experience too. Like when Meg was asking me who I met, and Stacy was asking me. We did. I've always wanted to go to Rock in Rio as a kid, so that was always the mystique of Guns N' Roses were there, and you always heard about it, but like it was in another world. You never get to see it and everything. And with Bon Jovi, like I said, I've never been to Spain. That sounds like a song, but I've never been to Spain, and we went to Barcelona, and it was just kind of cool that I got to go there. But it was really cool that
over there.
How was the crowds?
Yeah, because he did shows too, right?
Yeah, but we did this private cruise though, so I didn't get to see any of that stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. They just did it over the summer, and then they went back again and did the cruise. So, burp sponsored by D&G Explorers, by burp sponsors. There we go. I haven't been burping much. So anyway, so Rock in Rio, we went 2 years ago. Bon Jovi played. They played a long time ago, and then they played 2 years ago, and then they're playing again. In 2 weeks, they're playing Rock in Rio again. So I'm not going this time. We're going to Sao Paulo. We did Rock in Rio last time. So, but that was such a surreal experience. I have a lot of footage I've never edited. I got to edit some of that footage too, and it was pretty amazing to see Bon Jovi at Rock in Rio. They go on at midnight. They start at midnight and they play till like 2:30 in the morning, and then I think we got back to the hotel at like 5 in the morning. So they know how to party there. They know how to do it. They're pretty, probably I'd say top 5 fans in the world are people from Brazil. So they are in South America. They are very extreme. Thanks, Noah. Burp count sponsor. But the cool thing is we did this trip. It was just kind of small. We had about 200 people in that one, 250, I think. And we stayed at like the nicest hotel in all of Rio. And and when we planned it and everything, the people at the hotel never told us what the deal was. So Bon Jovi didn't stay at our hotel, but the other bands did, because like it would be like Friday, Saturday, and then Friday, Saturday, like that's how they did it. It wouldn't be a festival all week. It would be weekends, every weekend for like 2 months. And they took over where the Rio Olympics were, which is kind of cool. This huge complex, and it's never used, and they use it for Rock in Rio, and it's pretty successful. That's pretty cool. Have Ferris wheels there, rides, and there's a zip line that goes across the stage, which it's so bizarre. It's such another world there. But like I said, we stayed at the hotel, and so here's who was at the hotel. Tears for Fears opened up, so Tears for Fears was there, and I'm a big Tears for Fears fan.
I am too.
They were at the hotel. I'm sitting at the bar, and Rollins sitting there drinking and everything. And it was really cool because I actually made friends with a lot of the people in his band and everything. And they're so cool. It's a great guy and everything. But so that was cool for me. But Fall Out Boy was at the hotel. I was eating breakfast, and Pete Wentz is sitting there dishing out his stuff, and the lead singer's in the elevator, and Patrick's in the elevator with me, which is just like I'm in the rock and roll hotel. Like if you can't even make this up. And then so Aerosmith was there, which was really cool. And Red Hot Chili Peppers were at our hotel too. Wow. So like, and it was cool because they were like so into each other and everything. They're sitting by the pool, they're talking, and like, private hotel. There's literally like 200 people outside, like at all times, just going nuts for Aerosmith. It was just crazy. And like this, just to see, like, you look out your window and like you see someone for Aerosmith there, they go nuts and everything. But I saw Joe Perry walking down the hall, and I snuck into Steve Perry's his meet and greet. He did the meet and greet at the hotel, which is kind of cool. And then we brought John, Tico, and David to the hotel. We did our Q&A there too. So it was definitely when Alice Cooper was there too. We was just sitting at the bar, and we're like, hey Alice, and we got a shot with him and everything. But it was such a surreal experience that like we did this cool thing. We went to Rock in Rio, and then we got to see that Stacy and Meg was asking. That was probably like the coolest experience I ever had, like to see all those celebrities in one place at Rock in Rio. And then I think Guns N' Roses was there like right after too. And do you know the story about Guns N' Roses now? Like their great rise to fame again.
No, tell me
I don't know his name. I forget his name, but they just never got it together all these years and everything. And they've been touring for, I think, 3 years now, solid and everything. And it's an amazing story that like they just couldn't get it together. And the story goes, well, it's a true story. Axl's maid kind of said, why don't you go back on the road? And like, my son will help you or something. So he's like, okay. So Axel's maid, who I guess he's close to, his son is their manager. He put it together. And he is the success story behind Guns N' Roses. I forgot his name, but I got to meet him in Rock in Rio too, which was awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, because the lady who runs Rock in Rio is a huge Bon Jovi fan. That's why they're back again. And then we were just standing there. I'm watching Bon Jovi. I guess he was coming in the next week and everything. And I apologize, I forget his name. A really cool guy. Him and his sisters, they help run Guns N' Roses, and I met him right in the middle of the Rock in Rio thing. So I didn't get to meet any Guns N' Roses people, but I got to meet the guy who. The success story behind him. So,
good night.
I'm leaving at 7:10 tomorrow.
Pardon me, Rob.
It's okay.
Thank you. Shut my door for me, honey.
Hey, John, how you doing, buddy? Check it, John Oswego. I saw you have another Good Times with Johnny Pepper. I like that you and Darth Vader shot there. So, you haven't been to the changing subjects. You haven't been to the one in
Gallantly Streaming's leaving, Rob. Though, just want to recognize. Hey, Gallantly Streaming. Thanks for coming in and watching Rob's channel.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Rob.
A lot of good people. You haven't been to the Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland, right?
No, I haven't been to Disneyland at all. It's part of my bucket list, and we made a decision that we were going to go out there after Marvel opens.
Okay,
so that's our plan.
If you're a Disney fan, you just got to go. Hey, LSU mom, welcome. You got to go because it's just Disney. Walt was there. It was his original dream and everything. And the thing I always say about the thing I love about Disneyland the most is that how many times have you been to Disney World? Over 20? Over 40?
Over 40.
So, I could probably blindfold you and say, go walk to, Dumbo, and you could probably walk the Dumbo, right? The cool thing about this is Disneyland, it's very similar to Magic Kingdom, but it's different, and it just, things are in different places and everything. And that was my cool thing, like, just to see, like, wow, that's not there, and this is here, and the Haunted Mansion's not here, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is kind of in the middle of the park and everything. It's really cool, and just to see the history and all the different stuff. And I love California Adventure, such a cool park and everything. It's kind of like the best of Disney World in like this little park and everything. And I haven't been to Cars Land yet.
Meg's leaving too. Magical
Good night,
Meg.
Good seeing you, Meg. Meg, I'm glad you're home. I didn't want to welcome you back home, but I know your home is in Florida. So, but you did the right decision, Meg. I hope you're not second guessing that. So I think anyone who left early, Pete, I think you leaving early, I think it was definitely the right choice. So, you don't know.
Steve World's heading out too. Good night, Steve. Hey, buddy. Good night.
Good seeing you. I just wanted to come on and say hi. And if anyone wanted to pop on, thanks, Pete, for coming out with me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. The thing about Walt's World out there is I'm a huge history buff, Rob.
Yeah, love it, then.
I love history. I just, I can sit and watch history shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Love things on the presidents. I don't dislike a president. I respect the presidency and the title and the position. Mm-hmm. So no matter whether I think the president is the smartest guy to come along or I think it's the biggest idiot around, I respect the position. That's what I do. So thinking about the fact that, I want to go there and just touch the ground that Walt walked.
Yeah, totally.
I want to go on there and just be able to stand in front of that firehouse and take it in for 30 seconds and realize, holy cow, awesome. This is it. So I actually went and stood by, if you go into the center part of the hub, if you watch some of the old Disney videos, they say there were certain markers that they had when Walt was building it.
Mm-hmm.
And there were markers definitely that right by the hub there where Magic Kingdom is, that close to it. It's not perfect, obviously, because things have happened over the years, but I stood in front of that thing thinking, okay, at some point years ago, Walt stood somewhere right around this spot on the dirt below me. Granted, okay, underneath the chambers and down to the dirt, but stood here looking out thinking, what can I put together? And that was a pretty cool feeling when you think about that.
Yeah, totally.
I haven't had a lot of celebrity interaction at Disney, which is surprising as much as I've been there. I think the best one I had was the quarterback for Seattle. Russell Wilson. Okay. I was down there last year right after the Pro Bowl, and I was standing in line for Slinky in the Fast Pass. And all people were coming up, and I'm not paying attention. I was goofing around on my phone or whatever. And I literally look up, and Russell Wilson's right in front of me. And we sat there and talked for a minute or two and everything. And I ended up riding, Slinky right with him there and his family. Yeah, I asked him for a picture, and he declined respectfully. And I understood. You're there trying to be with your family and your kids. you start doing that, you get people just mugging you.
Yeah,
I was cool with it.
that's cool.
So that was my celebrity.
Bob and Ashley are only 6 away from 9,000 subscribers, so definitely go check out my partner channel, Bob and Ashley. I just put in the link. That's awesome, Bob.
They do a great job.
Text me, Bob. I'd invite you on, but I don't know if you want to come on or not. If anyone wants to come on, let me know. Yeah, they're awesome. Bob's such a great guy. I'm really happy to be friends with him. So
I wanted to meet them when we were down there.
Yeah.
I know Dave or Steve, one of the two guys, said that they got a chance to talk to him, and my times didn't coordinate with where they were, but I do enjoy their channel. I think they do a good job.
Yeah, I gotta catch up with your videos too, Bob. They went to D23 and everything. So the only celebrity I ever met. Did you say you met Motley Crue? Did you say that before?
I did. Motley Crue was awesome. My mother took me back when we were young kids. It was the Theater of Pain tour, and we went backstage and met them, and they were as polite as could be to my mother back there, which was shocking. Awesome. Rachel.
No, this is what I wanted to put up. Sorry about that. Mike said I should. That's funny.
Nice.
The only celebrity I ever met in Disney World was Vince Neil on Main Street. So I don't know. He had that gimmick where he was married to like 2 women or something. So he had his 2 twin women, his 2 twin girls were together or something. I don't know. And it was right in front of the thing. I'll never forget. I was with my friend, and you know me, like, and you see my channel, and I do retro videos and everything. This trip, I filmed everything. 9 days, everything, and I think it was the last day, and I'm like, you know what? And those days the cameras were huge and everything, so I was going to leave the cameras in the room, and we're just going to go enjoy the park and everything. And that's the day I met him. So he did the Encino Man movie. He was on the soundtrack, and Pauly Shore was in the movie, and Brandon Fraser was in the movie, and they had the big party the night before, and then he was just hanging out the next day. I was the only celebrity I ever saw. I got to meet him, but that was cool. So, has anyone else met celebrities in Disney World in the chat? If you guys want to put it,
everybody's got bound to have met someone.
Awesome. So, yeah, I love that Steven Tyler goes on his roller coaster all the time. So I saw footage of that and everything, and
that would probably set a lot of people, through the roof if you're getting on that roller coaster with Steven Tyler.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, in my mind, it's kind of like riding Autotopia with Bob Gurr. It's like, you look over and you think, oh my God,
that's awesome, man.
That's pretty amazing.
But one of my friends worked for him, and on the day off, she said they took everyone on the crew, and they went to Disney World. They rode it with him, so it was awesome. So, so cool.
Yeah, Rachel was bringing up that Prince Charming Dev met Kevin Owens in the park the other day.
I don't know who Kevin Owens is.
Kevin Owens is a modern day WWE guy.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him mid card. He's upper card. He's talented. He gets a lot of props, and he actually was a fan of Dev. He came up and approached Dev and said, "Hey, I watch your stuff," and then they got to talking. So it's pretty cool if you think about it, when another celebrity comes to you and says, "Hey, I like the talent, the creativity you're bringing to your channel." It's pretty awesome.
Dev's awesome. I want to check out his videos from Japan. Like I went there in 2005. It was phenomenal. I went so long ago. I told him if he needs any help, whatever. And I think he's coming to the city too, New York City. So I said I'd come hook up with him.
Yeah, he talked to me. I had the luxury. For me, it's a luxury. Dev was one of the first people that got me into this community.
Yeah.
Multiple years ago, I just reached out to him as a fan and just kind of wanted to meet him, and we got to talking, and we sat there for a few minutes, and over a period of time, we got to know each other a bit more, and actually became a really good friendship. I consider him a very good friend, and we talk a lot outside of online stuff. And I hung out this whole week. Well, all last week I was with Dev the whole time.
That's awesome.
And somebody, this is what even my son said to me. He's like, somebody really trusts you when they open up and have you pick them up at their house and you're hanging out and doing stuff like that. So it was nice to do that with Dev and hang out. And it was Dev that introduced me to people like Magical News Live and Donna and Arjons. And I even said to him one day, I said, dude, you've introduced me to like 8 people, and they're all phenomenal. Josh and Jenna. I mean, every one of these people were high character, just amazing. Yeah. But it was great hanging out with Dev. He actually talked about he wants to make a trip up to DC and go up to New York. He mentioned, trying to hook up with you and trying to do some filming all the way up to like Boston and seeing Shep. So I told him how to do it. He said those Tokyo videos are just between that and the cruises are just taking off for him.
What's up, Dave? Good to see you, brother.
Road trip, Dave.
Yeah, I was lucky. I filmed when I went, I didn't even realize it was rare. I filmed the castle tour under the castle. There's like a dragon, and they had the horn king or whatever, and that's like a extinct ride. So that got really good views on my channel too. So
Nice.
that was pretty cool. But I've been to Disneyland 4 or 5 times. I don't even remember, and I've been to Tokyo Disneyland. So you definitely got to go. You got to go to Florida. You got to go to Florida. You got to go to California.
California first. Dev was telling me you got to go to Disney. Tokyo. It was unbelievable. And I watched all of his videos and everything, and I did, appreciate. I mean, that's something I would like to do, is to get out and go to Paris, some of these other places, see all the Disney stuff. I think once I get my kids through college and got a couple of years left with that, that's something that my wife and I are going to do, is we're going to travel and go do that. Because I was
within 10 hours of Disneyland Paris. It was in my mind. If I'd have to sneak back for the kids to go to school and everything, I would have definitely went there. I want to go there. I want to go to all the parks, obviously. So
it's definitely it's unbelievable. I mean, Rachel's saying she's going to Disneyland next September. I really thank all you guys for coming in and watching Rob and supporting him.
Thank you.
All you guys know he does a great job, because you all are in here. Share out the stream and all the stuff that Rob does with his different. He's on like 3 nights a week. He's like must-see TV.
No, I'm not on that much.
It seems my small. You do Friday pub chat, right?
Yeah, Pub Talk or Frankie Friday with my nephew. So, that's generally Fridays at 4:30. Generally I just say 4. Steve's so awesome when he does my plug. He's on 4:30. He's like, and I'm like, just say 4 for now on, I guess.
Donna's leaving us. She's going in for the night. We love you, Donna.
But take care, Donna.
I love it. So you did your Pub Talk is usually with Dan,
and Adam. And Steve has been in it a lot. Steve's kind of doing his own thing now, so he's busy. So
right now, I haven't met Adam. I chatted a little bit with him here and there on the Mopper chat and stuff. But hanging out with Dan for a few minutes this week was absolutely awesome. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. So his reaction, Preston took 2 baseballs and had all the YouTubers sign it. Right? And Dan's reaction to being asked to sign a baseball was just priceless. I wish I'd have filmed his face, because it was kind of like he was proud to be asked, but he was trying to figure out, why is somebody giving me a baseball in Disneyland? It was a little combination of both. It was great. Dan's awesome.
Kay's asking if this is going to be Frankie Friday. I think it's going to be Pub Talk this week. I got to talk to Frankie, because it's his first week of school. It's going to be rough. So definitely going to be back on the track. My live stream. I haven't streamed in a month, so I snuck on yesterday, and I snuck on tonight because I know This and That's going tomorrow, so like I don't think I could do it tomorrow. So and it's been just quiet this week, I guess, because people are going back to school and everything. So I wanted to come on and everything.
Matt, I think everybody's so tired from last week. I mean, everybody was just going. I mean, the meetups were just ridiculous. The amount of people and that was down there at one time. I mean, I was over at Epcot with a group of 15, and I was going home back to the hotel. And Preston's like, hey, look, Myers and the Mouse is live, and they've got TTG and ODA, and I mean, it was like another 15 over there. It was crazy.
It was crazy. I kept getting notices. Like I would get the notices. I just really couldn't watch them. So
what was rough is when everybody went at one time. There was like at one time where like 12 people went live at one time, and literally my phone just waved a white flag and said, I can't do it.
I'm done. Yeah. It's 5 a.m. for me, because I'm still on Spain time, I think, but every day it's been a little better. I've been getting up like 4:30, then it was 5:30. I think today I got up like 6:30, I think, and I didn't really have to get up. So, but I have to get up 6:30 tomorrow, so for the kids. But so it was good. It was actually good that I'm doing this thing. Yeah. I'm trying to see what's going on here. I'm sorry, guys. It's just hard to follow everything. It's just
that's why you got to figure out that to pop that chat out. It helped me a lot. Because like right now I have the chat on my phone, and I'm just watching it on my phone so that I can keep up with it. But the other night when I was doing it, Kelly showed me how to pop it out. And like I said, I minimized my screen that Duck Labs is on to half my screen, and then put the chat in the second half. And I was able to keep an eye on it real quick. And
it's there. Like I have me and you here, and then right to the right, it's there. But it's not that hard. It's just so much good stuff in the chat. I have great subscribers. So
yeah, you got a lot of people putting a lot of content, and it's a lot of great names in there that I recognize, which is cool. It's awesome.
Bob's it's going crazy down there. We're feeling the outer bands now forecast 50 to 80 miles an hour wind. Stay safe, Bob.
Oh,
Bob and Ashley.
are they in Florida? They must be in Florida because that's
Yeah.
Okay, I'm worried about our North Carolina friends because it sounds like North Carolina, South Carolina is just may get punched right in the face with this thing, and they don't need that. They've struggled recently.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, I definitely don't want it up here. I mean, I'm young. I'm old enough to remember when the hurricane years ago when I was a kid came up the Chesapeake Bay and just went right up the bay and up through New York to you, and it just destroyed our place. Now I have that town 5 miles from me. I don't know if you've seen it on the news the last couple of years. Ellicott City, old Ellicott City, which was just destroyed by 2 major rainstorms where the floods came through, and it was literally like 10 feet high and tore buildings down. It happened, and they were trying to figure out how to prevent it, fix it, and then like a year later, it happened again, and it's just destroyed the city.
Hang in there, Dave. Sorry to hear that.
Man. I've been to Charleston. I'm sure you have with having family down there. One of my favorite restaurants, Hyman's, is down there. It's unbelievable. I love Hyman's down in Charleston. I used to call on those military bases all down there. I don't have it anymore, but that's a low. You talk about sitting low. That city sits low on the water table.
Want to see Dancing with Goofy's logo there. Welcome to my channel, Dancing with Goofy's. They were showing the water going through the village. Yeah, they were showing they were showing water flooding in the Bahamas. It was the second floor. It was starting to flood. They're like,
oh yeah.
I saw it on Twitter. It was like, wow.
I mean, if you're there, I mean, you're literally sitting there thinking, I'm SOL. Everything I own is destroyed with a Category 5 coming right at the island. I sit back and think, wow, how do those? I can only imagine the pain that those people are going through. Roach Dave, Pete, Hyman's is awesome. You ought to try out Fleet Lansing sometime, right on the Copper River. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I loved Hyman's. Every time I've eaten there 3 times, and it was off the hook.
That's cool. The airport at the Bahamas. I wonder how I wonder how the Landis did.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's been quiet about that. If you think about it, it's a lot of been more about the inland stuff and everything like that. And those people, if some of the dwellings and all they're living in, they probably don't have insurance to cover all that.
I was just there in April. I was just in the Bahamas, so it's beautiful down there. Just a shame. All right, Pete. Well, we had a good stream. Thank you so much for coming on. A little impromptu Pete McDevitt here, the stat man.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about what else I missed down there, like real quick before we get out of here. So the Beverly Challenge was awesome.
$10,000 raised. And here's the great thing about that, Rob, is we're not talking about $10,000 and people saying, oh, I'm going to give you 20 or, oh, I'm going to give you 100. This money actually went directly to their bank account. It was on the official site for Give Kids the World, the way Steve set it up, extremely professional. And the links, whether you did PayPal, that's how I was doing it, or one of the other types of form or credit card or whatever, it went right to their bank account. So in their bank account as of today is over $10,000 from what This and That crew put together, and of course streaming on Resort TV 1. If you haven't seen it yet, by some odd means, please go to Resort TV 1 stream from last Friday, and you will see the whole challenge, which was awesome. It was a week of people getting to meet people and really getting a good feel of, you're actually meeting the personality that you're seeing on the screen. Yeah. We actually this is the first time in 10, 15 years of me going to Disney consecutively that the priority was not getting on every ride, doing every meal, having every fast pass. It was more about meeting people, hanging out, taking our time. And it was probably one of the, if not the best trips that I've had.
That's awesome.
And I think it ranks up there when I took my kids when they were young for the first time, when they could comprehend and understand what Disney was and seeing it through their eyes. It was on that level for me. So, it was to shake the hand of, the This and That crew and people I was meeting for the first time. It was just awesome. It was just absolutely awesome. So,
it's weird because you met people for the first time and it's like you knew them for years, which It's just crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The link for the Beverly Challenge. Thanks, Stacy.
So, and I got to meet people like Joey's World and people like that. It's Joey's World are great. So I got to meet people I wasn't planning on meeting, which was kind of cool. While we were with Dev, Justin Scard and him hooked up, so I got to meet Justin, and Preston got to get him to sign the baseball, which was something we fully didn't expect. I'm good friends with Josh and Taylor, with the WDW couple, and we had been tweeting back and forth trying to hook up just to say hello, and couldn't make it work with our two schedules because of stuff that was going on. And God bless Donna Jaworski and Shep. They both had that DVC club, and they were like, "Hey, you want to go with us to the top of the world and watch the fireworks?" And I'm like,
"Oh, cool.
Are you kidding me? That's a no-brainer." And went over there, and there's Josh and Taylor sitting there. So I got to see them and hang out with them, and to see that my friends that I had made who knew other people, like Dave from Brandy and Dave knew Josh and Taylor. So there was a lot of crossover, and there was people that I didn't know that I was able to get introduced to.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of cool. We did have, I don't know if you've seen the video of the challenge. We had one random guy, some guy, bald-headed guy, walk in and just start taking a shot.
I saw that.
Okay.
I didn't know what the deal was. But
okay, so here's the deal. Steve's standing next to me. I literally grabbed his bottom of his shirt because Steve started to go towards the guy, and Dave is literally standing next to the guy, and you couldn't see him on camera, but Dave's sitting there with his face like this. Right. And I thought Dave was going to clock the guy. He just butted in and started doing shots, and that's what we didn't want. But it, of course, added to all the fun of what we had going. Seeing Donna do as many as she did. Now, I will tell you, Rob, the one thing that nobody really saw was almost every one of those competitors ended up in the bathroom heaving. Almost every last one of them ended up in there. So I told Steve the other day, sainthood to the janitor that had to go in there and clean that bathroom that night, because it was a mess, or it was struggling.
Well, I was a little. I don't want to really discuss it, but I was a little upset about that Steve said he was reading off all the different stuff that when you drink quinine, whatever, and all the different things. He said, say there was 8 of them. He's like, 6 of those happened to me out of the 8, like vomiting, bathroom bleeding, like all this weird stuff. I'm like, holy cow! So I felt bad for him. So.
And there was a lot of them that felt that way. I know Donna was really hit hard by hers. Yeah. At one point I looked over and Shep and Corey were laying on the ground together, and they had done 11, and it was just, it's a tough thing to do that thing.
I can't even drink a sip. I can't stand it. So.
It was great. Preston went in. He's like, when we got there, and it was just Jenna and her mom and a couple other people. We got there early. And Preston goes, "Dad, I want to go in and try that." And I'm like, "All right, bud, go ahead." And he comes back out with this look on his face. And I'm like, "What's the matter?" He's like, "I took 1 sip. I'm done." He's like, "I'm not drinking that. Can I have money for a regular Coke?" And I was like, "Yeah, like everybody for a regular Coke."
So how did it work? I saw Marisol was helping from our Disney Adventures, right? Was she going in? Was she going into Club Cool and just pouring it? Or
girls, we had a tray. We went and got trays from the Electric Umbrella. And we had Steve had sat before they and then wrote all 15 competitors' names on cups. And we had 3 trays. So as they finished one, Marisol was giving it to her girls, and they were running over, filling them up, and bringing them back. So they were a huge help. We couldn't have done it without them. Josh, practically perfect park hopping. He was doing the timing of every shot. So we stayed.
I didn't know who that was. But now you're telling me.
That's who that was. He was doing the timing of it and helping out there. And of course, I was, doing all the interviews and commentary. Jenna was filming. Of course, Josh was in it. He was feeling the pain. And it's funny because if you watch the video and really watch people's faces when they go out, and then go back and look at their face right before they go out, they all have this, "Oh God, this isn't going to go well," look on their face, And I think Steve would have gotten to 40, like he said, if he would have not done three hammers, bam, bam, bam. I was like, it's not Jack, and you're in the bar, and you're going to be at all.
Wasn't he doing jumping jacks too or something?
He was doing jumping jacks too, which was shaking him up, and and he was doing the whole Rocky thing, crushing it, which he was. I give him props. Look, he said he was going to do it. Man of his word, he went out and he did it, and hats off to him, because I wrote him, Seattle Slew for a while there on some of his streams, giving him a hard time. And I know my son was in his ear every 5 seconds he got a chance. But he did it. Hats off to him. I really think if he took his time, he could have done 40. But think about this: that you got to look at. To me, we talked about that guy, Adam Wanderman, I think his name was, that did
Daniel Wanderman.
Did some 50-some shots. Okay, he was doing them in 2-ounce cups. They were doing them in 4-ounce cups the other night, and I'm telling you, Rob, they were full to the brim. There was no 3/4. Right. They were filled to the brim, spilling over. And Steve did the equivalent of like 1.8 gallons. It's ridiculous. He did like
he's like a stat man. Like,
if he was doing the 2-ounce shots, it would have been like 100 and some that he would have done. So Steve, to me, right now is the Beverly champion completely out there in the world. And I give props to John from touring the.
He was awesome. Oh, come on, Donna and John were awesome, but John.
So Donna and our Johns, I had a feeling from talking with both of them that they could do it. And Donna is, I tell you one thing, she is a woman of her word. If she says she's going to do something, she puts her head to it. I've known that in the 2 years that I've known her. So when she said she was in, I knew she was going to give him a fit. I thought Shep would go a little further. I knew already Dev wasn't going to go further than the 10. He wanted to get to the 10, Corey and them did. So I wasn't worried about him. But John, I had no clue was going to do what he did. So there's ODA right there.
They were just talking about you.
Yeah, they were phenomenal.
Yeah, they're awesome. We're just talking how you were helping with the Beverly Challenge. That's awesome. They
were amazing. So, but John really killed it, and Steve is gonna. There was a second shirt that was made for the thing. Ready to send that out to John. I'm actually looking forward to hanging out with John and Dana. Hopefully next weekend for a few minutes if I can catch up with them when they're in the park.
Yeah, we did a hangout. I don't know if it was my channel. It was. I don't remember whose channel it was. Maybe it was Shep's channel or something. I don't remember what channel it was. And John, it was funny because John wasn't feeling good. He was sick or something like that from touring the Galaxy. And he has like this huge, like round chair. It looks like something Austin Powers would have. And he was sitting back in the chair and he was like, yeah, I want to, like, this is months, 2 months ago. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I like Beverly. I could do it. And like right there, I knew, like, is he talking a game or something? But I kind of had a feeling he was going to do really good. And hell yeah, he did really good.
He just crushed it. So,
and I'm guessing he went to the bathroom as well.
I don't, I never officially got a official thing from him. I did get it from others. There was a lot of people. Let's just say that it was over.
I'll tell you what, that's the best thing to do, though. It really is.
And we had a lot of people coming by. One that were fans of streamers, of channels. Okay, that were coming in to see Rob. It was so cool. After the first shot, I had Jenna to my right, and I was talking to something about her, and I turned back around for the second shot, and there was like 25 cameras over top of the table. People were coming in and raising up out of nowhere. I looked at Jenna. I was like, "Are you seeing this?" And it was crazy. It was so many. And then we had people that didn't know who we were that were walking by that were like getting explained it to and like, oh, this is so cool. So
it's crazy.
It was very interactive. It did get loud, and we had to, quiet it down.
I saw that, yeah.
Came out, and the guy was very reasonable. I mean, props off to Disney. # great job, cast member. He came over. His job was he was a manager, okay, with Epcot. And
now, where exactly was it? Like, it's in that little lounge right next to the
lounge, right?
But that's like just a weird spot. Like, it's just so random, that spot.
We were trying to hide a little bit because we were originally right outside Club Cool, and there was all of a sudden it went from like 10 people to 100, and we're like, we can't do this here.
Yeah, so they don't like that. They don't like when you get.
They don't like being up. So we had to take it inside there, and we had it under control. It just got a little loud. So he came over and he was like, "You guys got to break this up." And Steve started to walk toward him, right, and started to try to explain. Well, Steve is like 6 or 7 shots deep in Beverly. He's working on an hour's sleep. The last thing I want Steve to do is to try to be communicating at that point. If Steve's hadn't been out drinking and had his normal sleep, Steve is articulate. He's extremely smart. He can talk about it. Okay. So I grabbed Steve and kind of pulled him behind me. And I just said to the gentleman, I said, let me introduce myself. My name's Pete McDevitt. This is what I do for a living with the military. There are several police officers and military people involved in what's going on here. Now, let me tell you what we're doing. We are an official charity event for Give Kids the World. We have a representative with them right on the stream right now. We are donating money back to them, blah, blah, blah. I went through that. After that, he sat and listened to me. And then he looked right at me and he goes, anybody beat 23? Swear to God, that is, I swear to you. That's and I awesome. Well, they're working toward that. They're on 7. And he goes, all right. He goes, listen, here's the deal. Keep this pathway open so people could walk. Try to keep it down. I don't want any loud screaming, yelling, all that. And you guys can finish what you're doing.
Oh,
and I said, okay. So what do I do if they call security? He goes, I'm going to be the one they call.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. It's like, we will keep it down, because the biggest thing, we wanted to make as much money as we could for charity first. No doubt. That was everybody's priority. Because keep in mind, not one of these channels that are involved with this said, when they were asked to do it, hey, well, can I promote my channel? Hey, can I have super chats? Any of that stuff. Okay. Not one of those people did it. They all just said, yeah, I'm in. Okay. So everybody was doing it for the right reason. But we also didn't want Josh and Jenna, who have worked hard to build up a brand and a channel, to get in bad terms with Disney. I would like to see, I think Josh and Jenna deserve media. In my mind, I think they do.
I've said that for a while too.
So I didn't want to see that.
There.
So we were very concerned with trying to make sure that they were protected and that they didn't get in trouble with Disney. So we had to keep telling everybody keep down, but it ended up working out really well. We got it done. Steve kept his belt. We got pictures done of it. It's been a great social media thing. It wouldn't surprise me if we ended up 10,500 or something. I think that I know Stacy put the link up in the chat earlier. It's still open for people to donate. It's a great cause. It's tax deductible. It's a legit. I mean, they were founded by Disney and Universal, co-founded. So it's a great thing. I mean, I gave $170 myself to the event between the first. I tried to be one of the first ones doing it when they said they did it. I did $100 that night, and then I told Josh and Jen if they hit 70K, I would do 70. I sat at the dinner table tonight, and my son said to me, Dad, how much did you give to that? And I said $170, and my wife didn't even flinch, because she knew where it was. Now, if Preston would have said, Dad, did you build a lightsaber? How much you paid for that? And I said $200, I would have gotten death look and had to explain why I spent $200 on something like that. Not that my wife would, manages our money or babysits our money, but it's just justification. I'm down there partying, she's home here working, and I'm spending money. But it went to a great cause. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
It was really good. Thanks for letting me say hi to everyone too. That was cool. I said hi to Steven. He was so into it. He was so intense. I don't even think he remembered. Dave was telling me, Brandy and Dave was telling me that at one point Josh said he said hi to Rob, and they're like, "What? Rob Fuzz?" They're all excited. I'm like, for a minute there, I was down there with you guys.
It was exciting, but it was so loud they were having trouble hearing you. Zip did the right thing. He would talk to you, then put his ear to the phone.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah.
I said to him, I said, I hope.
No, I'm saying it was another time that Josh said he said hi to Rob or something. They thought it was me. They got all excited. So it's too funny.
There was excitement when you came on there. I Josh, because he was out doing his thing.
But then I got out of there real quick because everyone was getting into it. So I'm like, all right, I'll let you guys alone. So
yeah, well, I did tell Josh that you were in there beforehand. He was like, oh, that's cool.
Cool.
So, yeah. It is good stuff. But that was the major biggest thing of the week. I mean, just meeting up people and doing that. I mean, a lot of people did a lot of dinners and stuff together, and most of those people are putting out their vlogs and stuff like that where they went. So there's a lot of good content coming out from Galaxy's Edge. I said for me, it was just meeting people, hanging out. It was more for me to see Preston see everything in his eyes. Rob, that was an amazing thing. Quote and Corey. I'm a channel Corey meets world. It was amazing. I love that, how Corey says that. It's my favorite Corey word. I mark out everything.
My favorite is stay warm. So
stay warm.
Do you know the origin of that?
No, I don't.
I just love Corey and his channel and everything. I love his humor. I love the way he like approaches life. Him and his wife just approach life. They do stuff and everything. And he was just one day he was just walking around. I don't remember where the hell it was, Beach Club or something like that. And he's just walking, and I forget where it was. And he's at the pool and everything. And it's Florida. That's the funny part about it. There's a lifeguard stand there, and he's got what's the one with the dragon slide? What resort is that?
Is that the one at the bay?
Whatever resort that is. And so the guy has his back to me. He's in the background and everything. And he just nonchalantly goes to the lifeguard. He's like, stay warm, and walks away.
That's great.
Just the way he said it was like, stay warm. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's Florida. Like, that's the worst advice you want to give. Because the guy had a jacket on and everything.
I see Rachel put in there that Shep is, with the Shep family, is 5 away from 700. So
cool.
guys, he killed himself for that. Help him out if you haven't subscribed to him.
Okay.
Rob, you are so right. Corey's dry humor. You gotta watch. You got to pay attention really to his streams. He has some fantastic one-liners, and they're so soft and so subtle. But when you sit back and watch it the second time, I'm laughing in tears. Hanging out with Corey was great because I've always talked to Corey, but I never really got to hang out with him.
Right.
And I got to do that and got to hang out with Stephanie for a few minutes. God, just beautiful people is the best way I could put that. So yeah, that was really cool. Captain Akron's in. Yeah, we got a lot of people here, Rob. How many? You've been averaging a good amount for a stream where you weren't.
I was up to around 30.
That's awesome.
Nice. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I always want to I always want to go prime time, but like everyone's always streaming, so I don't want to step on anyone. So I just kind of slip in.
That was a tough thing for us when Dole Whip Dad approached me about doing this football thing, and the NFL watch party. He was telling me, he's like, look, last year I did it, and he goes, we had a couple other people come in, but he's like, Myers and the Mouse helped me, and we averaged like 1,000 views a week on it.
Wow.
And he was like, it was a lot of people that were really football people that found us by hitting football and weren't Disney. He's like, we could really bring these two things over and bring a ton of people to our community. And I'm like, well, that's a great idea. I love football. I don't want to be, I want to keep being the term that I use as an enhancer. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you saw him at some point. I did that tweet on, I'm proud to be an enhancer of these videos. People like yourself, Rob, I want to enhance your channel. I want to help.
You're always welcome, Pete. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I want to help more people of the friends that I have in this community. I don't want to go make my own vlogs. I don't want to go out and do live streams in the park. I don't want to go and do all that. I just want to, but these live shows is fun to me. I went to school for it for 2 years before I found a different path with the military, and I still enjoy sports and still enjoy stuff like this, sitting there and creating content by just sitting down and having a conversation. It's amazing what good stuff can come out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
And on that note, I'm gonna head out.
I appreciate you having me.
It's the first day of school tomorrow for my kids. They're excited, but it's funny. By like a week or two towards the end of the year, they're just ready to go back. They're actually, they concede. They're all right. They're ready to go. So
there you go.
They're excited.
Hopefully you can come over. I'd like to have you on our show at some point, Rob.
Yeah,
jump in one of the nights, and we're Thursday nights on this week. We're on Dole Whip Dad's channel about 8:15, and we will be on.
It's all sports though.
It's going to be sports and Disney. Okay. We're going to talk sports. It's an NFL watch party. We're doing that as the tie-in. We're going to bring people in that are fans. So, maybe when the Giants play, I have you, come in and chat a little bit. This week, our big guest, we know of one already, is going to be Dale from Resort TV One.
It's this Thursday, you're saying?
This Thursday is our first one. It's because the first game is Thursday.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we will be on about 8:15.
So the premise is the game's on and you guys are on during the game, like the whole 3 hours?
Talking about the game, talking about, we're going to talk a lot Disney because we're all Disney people and stuff like that. And we're going to have people on that are fans of those teams to chat a little bit. I'll tell you this, Dale was hysterical. So I said to Dale, I'm sitting with him, and I'm like, dude, come on to the show Thursday. I was like, I know you're a huge Bears fan. He goes, come on to the show. He goes, when's the show again? I said, it starts at 8:15. He says, the game starts at 8:15. I said, yeah, it's an NFL watch party, Dale. He goes, I'll come on at halftime. You get 2 minutes. I said, I was dying. I was doing a spit take. Dale. That's great. That was so fantastic. Funny. I'm on a time limit, and I get 2 minutes. But we're going to have Dale on with us, and we're going to talk Disney. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk a little bit about everything. It's more about just having a good time. We really want everyone that's fans of Corey Meets World to stay on Corey's stream till he finishes, and then come on over with us for a little while and hang out. Corey does just an incredible job on his.
Oh, you were saying with conflicting with other people.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Corey. We don't want everybody just leaving Corey and coming over to us in the middle of his stream. Stay, watch the end of his stream after he does whatever whatever it is. If it's the end of the night, show at whatever park he's at, and then come on over and hang out with us for a while. And we're going to talk a little bit of sports and everything else. Again, it's going to change each week. 1 week on mine, 1 week on Myers and Mouse, 1 week on Dole Whip Dad. This week it's Dole Whip Dad. But Rob, thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, pal.
You're one of the people I've always admired in this. I joked around a lot of times about your voice, but I think it's phenomenal coming from somebody who's appreciates it. I went to school for it. I love your tone. I love the way you come across and how smooth you are.
I appreciate it.
I'll finish with how I finish my streams. That's the best thing about that. I tell everybody, everybody has their little catch things. Mine's been the same for years before I even started doing this. The world's a better place when you put a smile on someone's face. Rob.
On that note, that's awesome. My thing is, let's do it. That's the big thing to start it. And then I say, we did it. So we did it. Thanks, Pete, for coming on. I was looking for someone to come on, and Pete came on. It was awesome. I wanted to try this out. I've never tried this before, so I have to change the title.
Welcome to
something. So. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I guess I go to the upper right and hit end broadcast. Is that how you do it?
I'm about to leave the studio myself. Good night.
All right, hold on a second. Oh, he's gone. Pete's out of here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for hanging in there tonight. Thank you all to my partner channels, my power channels, all my friends, my sponsors, D&G Explorers. Check those guys out. Check out all the links are below. So definitely check out Pete's page and his son's page. And thank you guys for putting those links in there. Rachel, thank you so much for being my #1 fan. I appreciate it. And thank everyone for coming. Road Trip Dave, good seeing you. Stay safe, everyone down in Florida. Thanks to Resort TV One. Thanks to all the this and that tomorrow, those guys and everything. And thanks to all my friends. Of course, thanks, Pete. Have a great night. Thanks you, everyone. Thanks you, everyone. It's very late. Good night, guys.